Good evening, class. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you are having a great Monday. Good start to your week so far. Welcome on in, One True LX, American Pineapple. One True LX, you were indeed correct. That is the soundtrack to Fester's Quest, Sunsoft's very strange Addams Family game for the NES. One of my childhood nemesis games, as a matter of fact. I never beat Fester's Quest. I played it for hours, for hours and hours and hours as a kid. Never got anywhere near to the end. That game has some of the worst small design decisions maybe in the history of gaming. It's an infuriating game. I'm probably going to play it on stream next week and see if I can finally beat it. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know that I have the mental fortitude to beat Fester's Quest in one sitting, but we'll find out. Tonight, however, we're going to be playing something a lot weirder and a lot more fun. Is there, Furrow? I know there's a European NES release of Fester's Quest that is remarkably improved. Hello, Starkiller. Welcome in. Yeah, the European version of Fester's Quest fixes most of the small problems with the game. So it's hard to explain without actually showing you the game. But very basic things like your shot not being able to pass through walls can almost completely soft lock you or totally ruin your playthrough in the US NES version. In the European one, it's they fixed that. They let your shots pass through things, and it makes the game infinitely more playable, just that one small change. Fester's Quest, it was Sunsoft, and they were generally very reliable for good games by that point in the NES lifespan, but imagine if the entire game of Blaster Master were the top-down sections, and they sucked, instead of being fun. Like, that's the best way to describe Fester's Quest. It's an infuriating game. It also does virtually nothing with the Addams Family license, which is a real shame. Because, I mean, the graphics are good, the sound is good, like, the fundamentals of a good game are all there. It's just marred by too many bad gameplay choices. And as I've gone over a ton of times here, my metric for if a licensed game is good is 1, would this game be fun enough to play on its own without the license? And 2, does it faithfully represent the license in a way that's fun and makes sense? You know, not a high bar. Be an average game and utilize your license. Batman for the NES. Excellent. Would be a fun game without the Batman license, is made more fun by having the Batman license. You know, it's not asking a lot. But, or like any of Capcom's Disney games. You know, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers would be a fun game without it being Chip 'n Dale. But with it being basically a Disney animated cartoon, it's great. Same thing with DuckTales. You know, my standard here for a licensed game on NES is not high. However, tonight's game is not a licensed game. We're going to be playing something desperately weird. So let me put on a different soundtrack now. Let me come up with something good. Actually, no, I'll let this keep playing. This is kind of sick. But tonight, we are going to be playing... Oh, actually, I should let you know what I have planned, because I have more than just a game planned tonight. At the end of the stream, whenever I'm done playing Monster Party, I am going to go ahead and distribute award certificates for everybody that participated in the Beat Bloom golf competition. So I have certificates ready for everybody who participated. So those will be going out on Twitter, but I will also review them on stream. So if you participated, please look forward to your certificate. Moving on, let me pull up the manual for tonight's game. Tonight's game is Monster Party, published in the US by Bandai in, I think, 1989, developed by Human Entertainment, who are better known for the Fire Pro Wrestling series. Monster Party is let me get a little out of the way here, is a deeply weird game. Its original conception was as a game called Parody Monster World, and it was going to feature horror movie characters and monsters as the main cast of bosses for you to fight against. The Japanese version, which has those intact, never actually came out, though a near-complete prototype build was discovered and dumped, so we were able to find this out. As it came out in the US, it kind of has references to horror movies without being quite as copyright infringing, though it's still pretty blatant in a lot of cases. But the thing that's most shocking to me about this game, and I was actually pretty freaked out by this game as a kid, it has absolutely tons of, like, blood and gore for an NES game. Like, I mean, you'll see, but there's, like, pools of blood everywhere, like skulls with blood coming out of their eye sockets. There's all sorts of grotesque imagery. I have no idea how this game got past the censors at Nintendo of America. I think they must have just not played it, or someone on staff decided, nah, we'll let this go. Oh, hold on, that's not video game music. Let me see. Let me get a good backing track for you. One moment. Here we go, because I mentioned it earlier. This is a good one. Yeah, but basically, you'll see what I mean. It's a weird game. So let's read the manual. Make sure we understand the mechanics, if they even tell us that. You know, we've got our very basic how to play the game, passwords, controller and operating, about each round, and warranty. So how to play the game. Oh, these are really poor quality screenshots that they used. Look at that. You can see in the manual itself. Yeah. I mean, it very nearly is like a dead man's party, Vaughn. How's it going? You can see here, that's one of the boss characters running by. A ton of the bosses in the game kind of run by in the opening scroll. They didn't take a good enough screenshot. It's blurred. They clearly just pointed this at the screen and did not try twice. Hey, Grillson, how's it going? But yes, our life meter shows your life. You do not start this game with a full life meter. Yes, Monster Party, Grillson. You do not start this game with a full health meter, and in fact, getting a full health meter in this game is rather difficult. Let's see, you get your score. High score shows what level you're on, and you need a key to clear each round. So let's take a look at what they're going to tell us about this game. The game scrolls horizontally while using... No story recap, no anything. This is a very, I'm going to say, unprofessionally done menu, even by the standards of the time. The game scrolls horizontally. While using the bat to destroy the monsters, move to the right. Along the way, there will be rooms where boss monsters live. Enter these rooms to fight them. When all the boss monsters are defeated, you will get a key that will allow you to clear the round. Hello. Hey, Zia. Hello. Having a great day. Thank you for the sub. I really appreciate it. We're just going over the manual now. Yeah, Excuse me. Grabbing a notebook right now. The password system really is not that bad. It's very manageable. The passwords themselves are, I think, only 9 characters. You've just got a lot to choose from. But, yep, when all the boss monsters are defeated, you will get a key that allows you to clear the round. When Mark defeats the monsters, various items will appear. He must get them by grabbing them. Attack and destroy the monsters by using Mark's bat to hit and return their photon lasers and other weapons. About the password. A password will appear after finishing each round. Write it down or store it in your Bandai Mega Controller. I love Bandai taking the opportunity there to say, like, hey kids, you could buy our proprietary controller that lets you save passwords in it. Which honestly is pretty cool for the time. I do not have one of those. I'm using a regular standard NES controller. This just says how to input the password, which I'm pretty sure we know how to do. We've got name of controller parts and operating instructions. Note, this is a one-player game only. Bummer. But when we are in Mark mode, so the main character's name is Mark. Oh yeah, saving was a big kind of technical breakthrough. Hello, Mobius. How's it going? Yeah, saving was only introduced to kind of Western cartridge-based games as a concept with The Legend of Zelda 2 years prior to this, which by utilizing a battery allowed save data to be kept in storage. For anybody that doesn't know how that works, why battery backup was a big deal, what it is, it's basically a watch battery, like a CR2032 battery, that is hooked up to a tiny bit of memory. And what the watch battery does is it maintains a supply of power to that memory so that, next time you turn on your system, that save data is still there. If that power goes away, the save data goes away, which is why when the battery dies in the cartridge, your save file goes with it, because it's no longer being held onto in storage because there's no more power going to it. Very simple concept, very simple solution for it, but it works. Or that was certainly the way to go in the days pre, cheap, rewritable, flashable memory. But yep, A jumps, B button swings your bat. You're a little kid with a baseball bat in this game. And you can move around, you can crawl. You can also turn into a monster named Bert. And you can fly with the A button and shoot a photon laser, more effective than the bat. I like that they specify more effective than bat. It's like, gee, I wouldn't have thought that the laser wasn't going to be more effective than the bat. Then you can pause. Items, you get hearts, which increase your life. Obviously, the capsule turns you into Bert. Then a question mark is either points, life, or weapon up, or it could hurt you, because, why not? It's an NES game, it's got to have some arbitrary bullshit in it. Then about each round. So let's see, round 1 is Entrance to the Dark World, and the boss monsters are the man-eating plant, attacks by shooting lethal bubbles, a giant spider, and a pumpkin ghost. I like how they only tell us what one of these things do. Thank you for demonstrating Come Command, Gale. How are you doing tonight? Round 2 is the Dark World Dungeon, where we'll be fighting Medusa, who throws snakes at us, a shrimp attack, and a haunted well. Some of the monsters in here are clear, homages to horror movies. Some, like the haunted well you'll see, are really just kind of Japanese yokai. Yeah, so the shrimp one's really funny. I'll point it out when we get there, why it's so funny. And in the Dark World Cave, we've got a giant bull man who shoots cows at us. That's just a minotaur. The Guardian of the Giant Sphinx, who shoots ectoplasm. And a giant spider that shoots web strands. Moving on. Also, you can see kind of the horrific background here, like with these skulls, just like decomposed heads. It's really, really gruesome. Round 4 is the Dark World Castle Ruins, where we've got a giant samurai attacking us with a sword, a giant cat that throws miniature cats, and a punk rocker who attacks with bad playing guitar. I like that they specify that he's bad at the guitar, and that's why it's an attack. In the Dark World Lake, we've got the Living Dead, which are zombies from Japan, and the Mad Javelin Man throwing javelins. I wouldn't have guessed. Wouldn't have guessed by the name. Round 6, Dark World Haunted House. Oh, I didn't even think to turn that off, Furrow. Let me turn that off. I will go grab myself a beer, but I will turn it off after that, once I'm through the manual. So give me just a minute for that. I didn't mean to have that turned on a Monday, but I will have a beer. Round 6 is a maze. I remember that. I had to look up a map the last time I played it. Then in the Dark World Tower, we've got a giant caterpillar, giant spider, and the Grim Reaper himself. Bloom, you really should have thought to turn that off. You should have checked. And then round 8, Dark World Heaven's Castle. We fight a giant dragon, a hand creature, a snake man, and the final round is the Dark World Master. So it's very exciting. There's a lot of interesting stuff we're going to see in this game. Why don't I go ahead? Yeah, that's fair. I won't chug it. I mean, I wouldn't have chugged it either way. It's a Monday night. Let me get the TV out here, but I will also actually be right back while I go grab myself a drink. So give me 1 second, enjoy the music, and I'll be back. All right, I am back. I've got a cold one. Let me turn that redeem off while I remember to do that. Not that I particularly mind having a beer, but time and place. Let me go ahead, pour it in my glass here. There we go. All right. And I do have the game ready to go. My NES has not been giving me any trouble. I was testing it out earlier. So we should be in good shape. No, I am out of Malort Gale. I have none left. I need to make a Malort fund, because to get Malort, I can't just buy it from a local, liquor store. It's really only in the Chicago area where I am not. So I have to kind of get it imported, shipped to me. And that's not cheap. So if I'm buying some, I'm usually buying 3 bottles at a time, which means, oh, there we go. Which means shipping is expensive, so I also need to buy a new car within the next week or two. I'm just kind of waiting to hear from a dealership. So that's the limiting factor right now in my Malort stock. All right, so let me hit reset here so we can see. These are a bunch of the bosses from the game that are just kind of walking by us here. Makes for a really, I think, nice looking intro screen. We've got a catchy little jingle going. And you can see it's got a wide range of different monster types, some of which seem strange, like an onion ring, tempura shrimp. You'll see when we get there. It's a weird game. There's Medusa. So you know what? Let's just start, because there is quite a bit of story here. Excuse me. Mark was walking home from a ball game. He looked up and saw a bright star. I also want to point out the thing lining the text box, it's all skulls. It's already off to a pretty grim start. While he stared at it, the star got bigger and bigger. The beauty of the star made his eyes moist, so he didn't notice that the star fell and landed right in front of him. Mark's not very bright. He didn't notice a falling star. It wasn't a star, but a monster. Oh my god. Oh my god. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Mark quickly asked, "Who are you?" "I'm Bert." "What's up?" Just imagine, a monster falls, in front of you, looking like that. And he's like, so who are you? Just imagine a monster falling from outer space, basically, and saying, "Hey, I'm Bert, what's up?" "I'm looking for help. Evil monsters are out of control in my world. Come and help me." "I'm afraid to fight the evil monsters." "Reasonable, Mark, reasonable." "Don't worry. With your weapon, you'll be able to destroy them easily." So it's like, just brain them. Just hit them with a bat. "This isn't a weapon. It's a bat." Batter, anything is okay. Anyhow, let's go." Bert grabbed Mark's hand and flew away. Yeah, this is a weapon? I thought it was merely for sport. "What's your name?" "Mark." So he just abducted this child. Yeah, anything's a weapon if you put your mind to it. Anything's a weapon if you swing hard enough. "Mark, my planet is dangerous. So, we must act together." He just abducted this child. How? Like this. Then they fused together. This is how Mark's adventure began. Yeah, he got abducted by an alien monster, forced into fusion and forced to go do combat. Also, look at that screen start stage. It's a bunch of skeletons in a lake of blood with blood oozing down the screen behind them. Like, what the hell? Did they play this at all when it came to Nintendo of America? I can't think of any other NES games that have anything quite this extreme. I mean, the very end of Bionic Commando has Hitler's head exploding in gory detail, but that's like right at the end of the game. I can understand how they missed that. This is like the first 10 seconds. It's like the AI woozle art. And then we start the game. I need to stress to you how badly this game freaked me out as a child, class. Because it starts off kind of weird looking, but still a little happy-go-lucky, like most NES games. And we're going to cross a point in the level where things go from, like, sort of whimsical to grim. And you'll see what I mean. But first of all, look at how weird the enemies are. We've got, like, a Japanese bancho kind of teenager shooting lasers at us. We can deflect stuff with our bat. Enemies explode. Also, the jumping physics in this all feel a little weird. We've got a pair of legs just coming up out of the ground. Very, very normal. We're going to go in here. We're going to see the first boss of the game, which is, how many of you have seen the classic movie musical Little Shop of Horrors? Because basically this is Audrey 2. This is the man-eating plant. They did edit it from its original sprite to look a little less like it. Originally there was like a big speaker and a microphone, but you'll still be able to recognize pretty clearly what they were going for here. Now, I've played this first level a lot of times, so the strategy for this boss basically, hello, baby! Very, I can't do this. So this spoon is called Monster Party for the NES. It's an extremely weird game. Also, you can basically just hold your bat straight out and score lots of hits and reflect a projectile, so you really want to just get straight into the boss's face. So there used to be a graphic of a speaker back there, and its collision data is still there, so you can still jump on it and move around, even though it's not actually drawn there anymore. Just a neat little Easter egg for you. But yeah, this is a deeply weird game. Also, we should be able to, yeah, you can grind a little health there. Very spooky, especially by NES standards, and you'll see what I mean pretty soon. There's also, you'll notice my health is barely a third of the way full. Pills turn you into Bert, or the Fusion Mark Bert Chimera thing. You have a lot more firepower now, and you can fly. Some of the rooms you go into will be empty, but those are the boss rooms that you basically have to go in throughout the game. You can see we've picked up a bunch of health now, so we're not quite as squishy. One thing in this game for anybody who decides to play it, the controls can feel a little strange at first. They definitely take some getting used to. But once you get used to them, they're not that bad. This freaked me out as a kid especially. You think you're going in there to fight a boss, and the boss is just dead already. Just, sorry, I'm dead. Hello, Elliot. Welcome, Raiders. Stream crash raid. Oh no, did your stream die, Elliot? Let me shout you out. Hey, Cat is bad at games. Thank you for the follow. Like 6 times. Let's get the other shout out there. But welcome on in, everybody. For anybody who doesn't know, my name is Professor Bloom. I'm a teacher. I do lots of singing. I organize a VTuber choir, of which Elliot has been a part multiple times. I think for all of them now. And I play lots of retro games on real hardware. Tonight I am playing Monster Party on the NES, which is a deeply freaky game by NES standards. So I'm sorry that your stream kept crashing, Elliot. You were playing Sonic Adventure 2 Battle? Oh, that's a bummer. But yeah, this game freaked me out so bad as a kid. Oh, excellent. Let me sing something real quick. And Spoon, I listened to that. It was very, very good. Really chill vibes. I'm gonna match up the chill vibes here with or not the chill vibes. I'm gonna mash up the weirdness of this game with some Beatles, because why not? I love the Beatles. I do say, as I write this letter, send my love to you. Remember that I'll always be in love with you. Treasure these few words till we're together. Keep all my love forever. P.S. I love you. You. I'll be coming home again to you, love, until the day I do love. P.S. I love you. You. As I write this letter, send my love to you. Remember that I'll always be in love with you. Treasure these few words till we're together. Keep all my love forever. P.S. I love you. You. As I write this letter, oh, send my love to you. Know I want you to remember that I'll always, be in love with you. I'll be coming home again to you, love, until the day I do love. P.S. I love you. You. I love you. There we go. Thank you for the karaoke redeem, Nanara. Yeah, so if you couldn't tell, this game's getting real freaky real fast. When we crossed that line there, the whole world went from sort of weird, but mostly normal, to a blood-drenched nightmare hellscape, and I don't understand how this was allowed by Nintendo of America in 1989. So thank you for the Pachis. Look at that. We've got a freaky dog thing with a man's face. We've got giant eyeball monsters. That boss that we just brutally killed said, "Please don't pick on me." Like, everything about this game, I have no idea how this happened, Hanabi. Like, every single thing about this game is super fucked up and weird. Also, we got the key, so we can leave the level. I have no idea. Look at the password screen. It's a bunch of skeletons in a lake of blood. Like, they would have needed to have not played this at all to pass this through. It really is. Like, now imagine that you're like 4 years old and you're playing this, and that was my experience with this game. It scared me so bad. Also, now we're in the sewers here. You can actually use your bat to deflect a lot of enemy projectiles and stuff, which is a really cool mechanic, especially for a game this old. You don't need to most of the time, but it's just kind of fun. There we go. Kill that fish guy. It's an NES game, so of course you've got your kind of obligatory sewer level here. Now, the best strategy for almost every single boss... Oh, Burnsy, it's so weird. It's a fun game, honestly, but yeah, they might just not have noticed. Let's mix it up. I don't know why Medusa's saying, let's mix it up. Quick aside, generally the best strategy for bosses, if you're not Bert, if you're not the, fusion where you can just spam a projectile, the best thing to do is get up super into a boss's face and just mash attack. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do. You can, reflect these snakes she's shooting at her, but you can also just get right up in her face and keep jumping with the bat swung, and that will kill her pretty quickly. So there's lots of ways to take out the bosses in this game. That's generally the fastest. Excuse me. Yeah, yeah, right? Only if that doesn't work, then do you learn the pattern. Like this guy, we can reflect a projectile. That'll kill him pretty quick. I also don't know what half these are supposed to be. Like, what kind of creature hangs from the ceiling in a sewer and just spits its guts at you? Also, enemies that drop health and Burt pills can be kind of ground for more of those. Oh, it's super cool, Hanabi. So if you ever need more health, yeah, Rat Kings, basically. The rat flail enemy. But basically, if I kept walking back and forth, I could keep collecting health from that alligator or that fishman. But there is a limit to the number of times an enemy can drop like useful items throughout the course of a level. So there's a limit. It's not on a per enemy basis, but a per level basis. That room's empty. Also, look at that. These are like, you know, veins twisting through. I think those are skulls. Like, all of the imagery in this game is a nightmare. I mean, there was no rating system on games back then. Not even like, you know, Sega, a few years after this, started doing their own ratings, where games would be rated like GA for a general audience or MA13 for like mature audience, you know, teenagers. Nintendo didn't have anything like that, and a game like this, understandably, probably upset a lot of parents. I don't think mine ever realized just how gruesome it was. Mostly because my brother and I didn't tend to play it too much, because it's a little janky and weird, and it can get frustrating if you don't know what you're doing. But also, I think just because we were kind of grossed out by it. Like, we were like, I don't know if I want to play this. Not that it was, like, too scary. Well, no, I was definitely scared of it when I was really little. But still, you know what I mean. There's also just things where it's like, okay, there was no boss in that room. Which one do I go into? I've beaten this game once before, and it was actually on stream literally almost a year ago to the day. So I don't remember it all super well. So we'll see how far I get. I feel like I can probably beat it if I beat it before. But you never know. There we go. Most of the enemies... Oh, this one's great. This one's one of the most clearly preserved movie references. It's to, you know, The Fly. Probably they were thinking of the 86 remake or whatever, where, you know, you've got Jeff Goldblum goes in his teleporter. Yeah, the Brundlefly. Only they decided to make a language pun because instead of the fly, this is the fry, and we're fighting a bunch of fried foods coming out of these teleporter pods, which is really funny to me. And the best strategy here, if I can remember right... Yeah. I can and I did, Hanabi. The best strategy here is you want to just get behind the thing and jump alongside it with your bat held out. And if you duck, you can avoid its attack pretty much entirely. I'm telling you, a shrimp fried that rice. Absolutely. So, normally, this is where I'd get stuck as a kid until as an adult I learned the strategy. I just couldn't figure this one out as a kid. Now you've got an onion ring. Excuse me. The timing's a little tricky, but just by lying flat, you can avoid most damage in this game. I also love the way Mark can crawl, and he's just like a little slug. He's just down there, just chilling. Just happy to let life pass him by. I sure don't want whatever that is, incoherent bot. I will ban you momentarily. There we go. Now we've got some fried fish sticks, or kind of like odang, a Korean thing, like fish cakes fried. They're really good. You've never had them. It's a little unclear what they're supposed to be, but mount viewers. Yeah, no, I don't think a single child understood that, Nanara. I know I didn't. Goodbye. Yeah, it said boom. No, I did too, Hanabi. But, yeah, mount viewers. Oh, I ended up killing an enemy up there with the reflected projectile. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Also, how are you tonight, Epic 11? Nice to have you stopping by. Sewers here are basically just a very simple maze. Nothing difficult. Ah, hello, Sakuru. Let me take my hat off. Give me 1 second. Let me... Excuse me. Sorry, you don't get to see me changing. You just get to see the end result. There we go. Yes. Yeah, just a mountain of people. It's not a command, it's a descriptor. It's a place descriptor. Mount Viewer, not Mount Viewer. English is tricky like that. Where you've got a lot of people whose names can just be a verb or a command. Can't remember which room I go into next. Also, for these fishmen, I can never get them in just one cycle. A mountain of people does sound like a Shin Megami Tensei boss, and is in fact a Castlevania boss. Legion is a series staple. Just a giant ball of flesh kind of writhing over at you. It's deeply unpleasant. Oh, I also love that Mark has an animation just for slamming his head into the ceiling. Not a thing a lot of NES games had. What's your birthday? March 1st. It's like, but I don't want to go anywhere. I really like it, Burnsy. I can't speak to the Switch version specifically, but Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne is really good. However, if you play it, there is one boss that is kind of famous as a filter of sorts. Like, people will get to this one boss, and that will be where they realize, oh, I didn't learn the game's mechanics well enough to be able to beat this. So if you do pick it up, I would be curious to see how you do with it. Yep, Elliot knows. In the same way that if you ever played Shin Megami Tensei 4 on the 3DS, the Minotaur there is kind of the similar filter boss, or a gatekeeper boss. Yeah, you haven't even played it and you knew. Here's a haunted well. We've gone from, movie enemies to yokai now. It's just saying, time to do some damage. I mean, I think it's worth giving it a try, especially if it's cheap. Hello, Crocopete. So this thing's just gonna throw plates at me. I think they're plates. Or coins. It's very easy to kill. You just spam it. That's the strategy for most things in this game. Just hit it a lot really quickly and it'll die. Yeah, you were telling me about that, Grilson, with like the Neptunia characters and stuff in it. That sounds like a lot of fun. Also, now I've got the key to leave the level, so I can just ignore any other doors from this point on and get to the end. Am I a Tengu? No, you are a 10-year-old boy who basically got abducted by an alien to go fight in a war on their planet. Is the only way I think I can describe this game's plot. Excuse me. You're just walking home from a baseball game when an alien crashes to Earth in front of you, says, monsters are taking over my world. Yeah, it's The Last Starfighter, but instead of learning to be a fighter pilot, you just hit everything with a baseball bat. Also, I loved that movie as a kid. Like, absolutely loved that movie. Also, let me start writing down my passwords. Just in case I start dying. Having played this before, I would like to think that I won't do too bad, but you never know. Let's see. HWA9GQ quotation mark EC. There we go. Excuse me. Yeah, too many Star Wars games. Oh, thank you, Crocopete. This is one I've had since I was a kid that I hadn't beaten actually until last year. I also want to point out a really nice visual detail on this level. You see as the cave flashes, you can see the stalactites hanging from the ceiling faintly glow with that purple as well. You can see there's an attempt at a lighting effect on all of the rest of the level that looks awesome, in my opinion. Like, this game doesn't have the best graphics. It's not super impressive with the, bosses and stuff, but that's a nice detail. Yeah, this background, the color palette especially, I think helps with that, Hanabi. Yeah, it's attempting ray tracing. I mean, ray tracing is not a new idea or concept. I mean, I'm trying to think. I know someone wrote basically a ray tracing demo for like the Commodore Amiga back in the day. It takes an extremely long time to render, but it is true ray tracing of a scene. That is just that term just means a depiction of, accurately sourced light affecting an image. It's just math, basically. I mean, there's someone who wrote one for like a TI-86 calculator. It takes a day to render an image, but it works. Also, I'm being very cautious here because you can take a ton of damage in this game by trying to just plow forward. And I would rather like to build up my health instead of forfeiting it to all the enemies that I see. I don't like these teleporting guys. So it's not just making a shadow, Burnsy, but what it is through math, basically accurately representing the physics of light. Move it. Get it? Because he's a big cow man. Move it. And this is another one where we can reflect stuff, but our better strategy, again, is just kind of get in his face and do as much damage as we can. Yeah, simulating the way light bounces around an environment. Thank you, Grilson. Just gonna face tank it. Yeah, stab him in the knees. Yeah, ray tracing isn't anything new. It's that we're just now at a point where technologically we have the capability to do ray tracing in real time. Lighting in video games prior to that, and not just video games, but movies as well, any computer animated film, has been approximations of how light and shadow work that can often look very realistic, but aren't actually grounded in reality for how they work. So a great example of that would be something like, yes, Glail, Monster Party, one of the weirdest NES games, and one that I am very fond of, personally. Yeah, Toy Story lied to you. Yeah, so a great example, something like the shadows in Doom 3, or like Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. Games from around 2004, 2005 that had really impressive light and shadow. Those were using a technique called like stencil shadows, where basically quick math would be done. My legs are asleep. There's a little invisible mummy guy here, which I think is kind of fun. But basically those stenciled shadows were done by casting shadows from a predetermined point wherever a light would shine. So it wasn't simulating light so much as saying, if light presents here, then show shadow behind it, basically. Yeah, quick math. Something that was a approximation that had a really good effect. Oh, it's pretty weird, Glail. Like, these are vampire umbrellas. How's it going, Hardcore Hunter? And mostly, I'm just shocked at the amount of blood and guts that were allowed to get into an NES game. It's really kind of mind-boggling. No, those are standard yokai, but they're also mixed together with, like movie monsters from the, Hollywood side of things. It's a weird mix, and just the amount of blood in this game, the ending cutscene, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. The ending cutscene is absolutely insane. Up there with Bionic Commando for the bloodiest on the NES. And I'm not kidding. the game is still pretty fun to play. Like, it's a little janky. Like, I'd describe it as a B tier, C tier type, yeah, no, I'll spoil it at some point tonight. But I'd describe this as, like, a very, very mid-tier NES platformer. You know, if it weren't for the really cool theme, I don't know that it would be worth playing at all. But with the cool theme, I think it's fun enough that it merits checking out. And it's got, you know, some pretty standard NES weirdness to it, but it's not overly difficult or overly punishing to play. So it's one that I would still recommend you check out if it looks interesting to you. Oh, Moon Crystal. Moon Crystal. We've also now got a spider tick thing that wants to drain us of all our blood. Same story. Just blast it. That's the story for most of the bosses in this game. Just blast them. Would love a health drop. Don't know that I'm gonna get one. But the end of the level's right there. So, we're good to go. Yeah, there we go. Let me grab my notebook. I can't get over this password screen. Like, Nintendo just straight didn't check this game. They did not pass this through the Nintendo censorship process. It's not just blood, Grilson, it's like skeletons in a lake of blood with blood dripping down the screen behind you. It's awesome, but it's pretty freaky. Now imagine that you're like 4 and you're playing this game. That's scary stuff, I gotta tell you. There's the rest of the beer that I accidentally let get redeemed. Round 4, start. And we're now in the Dark World something, which coincidentally looks like ancient Egypt. Does that mean the aliens built the pyramids? No, we gotta go with the much more fun. Anytime I hear like a stupid conspiracy theory like that, I like to go the other way and say, no, you've got it all wrong. The Egyptians went to space and taught the aliens how to stack rocks in the most efficient way. You know, you've got to reverse it. That's way more fun. Or if someone's like, oh, the moon landing was faked. It's like, what, you still believe in the moon? He doesn't know. Like, you've just got to go more ridiculous every single time you can. Yeah, it is, Dom. This game is sick. And he doesn't know. This is Monster Party, and it is one of the weirdest, coolest NES games. The Whalers on the Moon. God, I love Futurama. Yeah, they brought a film staff up there to film the whole thing. Yeah, Jason. I love that kind of stuff. Let's see. I think I've got to crawl through here. I love the crawling animation. It's very... That is very nutty, Zia. Man, that thing takes a lot of hits to kill if you're not. I would need to check on that. wrong Jason. Yeah, exactly. The moon itself was faked. I think it makes sense. They're fun movies. Now we've got a samurai in a foreign world Egypt setting saying, I am a slowpoke. What part of him takes damage? I think it's just his legs. We're just gonna tank a lot of damage here and try to... We got him. He wasn't that bad. Yeah, it's just projected on the roof. Yeah, Achilles' heel style, apparently. But he was a samurai in Egypt on another planet. Are you following this? It's generous to call that this game's plot, but I think you know what I mean. This game is just bonkers in the, like, fun way, you know? That was nice, getting some health. I should go... So you can sort of grind for health in this game if you respawn an enemy by moving the screen that dropped health before. It will drop health again, but there's a limit as to how many times it can do that. It's still generally worth doing. I'm doing well, Max. Playing Monster Party on the NES, which is a very strange game. Oh, Glail, the Highlander animated movie, the Highlander anime, is so good. Like, that's the best Highlander movie apart from the original. All the other Highlander movies really suck, but that one is so cool. Like, man, gorgeous animation, insane violence. Like, it's got it all. What else could you want? So I think I need to go down there to go in that door, but I'm not sure. So we're going to find out. The levels can be a little maze-like from time to time. It's not a bad thing inherently. Meow. Meow. Oh, it did it perfectly. I did love the Highlander live-action TV show that was on in the 90s. It was so fun. And just having the Prince song as the theme, you know, here we are, we're the princes of the universe. I love it. It's the cheesiest song in the world. Aw, good kitty. Good kitty. Hello, Guy Cosma. You heard gratuitous violence. Well, that's good, because this is an NES game with a ton of it. Oh, the cat got mean. So we've just got to go hit it a lot. Some of the bosses in this game are very easy if you know to just go do that. That being one of them. However, now we've still got one more boss to kill in this level, then we can get the key, and we can exit. And I think both those snakes should give me health, or at least the second one will. This scorpion is going to do me a lot of damage. There we go. I love that Mark can just slam his head against the ceiling. They're like, let's make sure we can show that our main character is in pain if he jumps into the roof. I mean, I like Highlander 2, Glail. It's not good. Like, I like lots of bad movies, and that's one of them. Also got Sean Connery just, like, chewing the scenery like crazy in every single scene he's in. You know, just, like, clearly did not care about the film. Which is fun, in a way. You know, it probably wasn't fun for them as they were filming it. They're probably like, Sean, please, please. Oh, bad movies can be wonderful. I love lots of bad movies, but I wouldn't pretend that they're not bad just because I like them. Do you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people are willing to make excuses for bad movies that they like. Yeah, TMNT 2, Die Another Day. Yeah, right? Plus, like, I don't know, everybody's got imaginations. Everybody came up with stuff. Rui, welcome on in. Welcome in, Raiders. For anybody who doesn't know, my name is Professor Bloom. Hold on, let me shout you out. Kiss your homies raid, absolutely. Let's get Rui shouted out both ways here. For anybody who doesn't know, my name is Professor Bloom. I am a teacher, I do lots of singing, I organize a VTuber choir, and I play lots of retro games on real hardware. And today I am playing Monster Party on the NES, which is a super weird game, notable for having tons of blood and gore for an NES game. Yes, but welcome on in. How is Elden Ring going, Rui? So welcome on in, Bunzel. If I'm missing anybody, Herpus Derpus, absolutely always kiss the homies goodnight. It's rude not to. But welcome on in. How's it going? Oh, this boss, the manual described as being a punk rocker who attacks you with bad music. Bad guitar playing. So let's just blast him. Make quick work of him. He got lost. I was watching a little earlier. You were in, what's it called? like place underground. I'm forgetting the name. I played Elden Ring when it came out, and I've forgotten virtually everything about it since it came out. Where you kind of go into that, like, starry world down there. Yeah. I don't know how rockin' the NES could be. Sure, in the right hands you could... No, that's not true. Tim Follin could do it. Human Entertainment in 1989, not so much. Yeah, it would be Mega Man 2 style. God, Mega Man 2's music is so good. Try not to get filtered by this scorpion. Just because he can do a ton of damage. And there's not, like, a lot of knockback in this game, so you can get, like, stun-locked by an enemy and take a ton of damage. Yeah! Oh, the big iron balls are the worst. Because you can't do anything. You just gotta deal with it. What does this scorpion even shoot at me? Like, scorpions in real life don't have a projectile weapon, do they? Like, they're scary enough. They don't need a projectile weapon. I do like the very rudimentary attempt at, like, a physics-based weapon. You know, letting your bat knock things around in this. Ooh, I don't know about that, Grierson. It's good. I wouldn't call it the best NES game. If we're talking just in terms of, like, best made NES game, I would probably go with Super Mario Bros. 3. Ooh, Castlevania 64, which isn't actually called Castlevania 64, I gotta point out. It's just called Castlevania. Konami were treating it as the... Oh, I barely squeezed through there. Oh, of the NES Mega Man, I think that's fair. I like 2 better, but that's just personal preference. I don't like 3 at all, however. I do not like Mega Man 3. Let's write down this password. Yeah, it did, Hanabi. It's kind of funny thinking back on it now. Symphony of the Night was treated as like the side project, whereas Castlevania for N64 was treated as the main extension of the series. I like it, though. I think it's much better than most people give it credit for. So we're now in a lake world environment here. Okay. Get ready for a very funny thing. The first time I got to this level, I saw that shark fin and I thought, oh, that's going to be a massive shark. That's going to be a huge enemy. And you'll see. But yeah, Castlevania 64 has definitely got problems. The camera's really not as bad as people make it out to be. You know, the only 3D action game that had a better camera at the time was like Ocarina of Time. You know? So I don't hold that against it. Other than that, I think it's pretty fun. It's got good atmosphere. You know, it's got some great character animation, especially for the time. I don't know if people are there quite yet, Glail. Also, look at that shark. He's a tiny little guy with a big fin. He's very, very cute. Adorable little guy. The shark is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Also, I think you can kill those, like, Loch Ness Monster-looking guys, but I don't think you need to. I just jump over them. And try to not take a ton of damage from everything else. If I'm remembering right, this level has a boss fight that's not a boss fight, but rather just a, kind of little cutscene you watch. Mostly just gonna avoid fighting stuff if I can. Yep, here we go. Watch my dance. And it's Japanese zombies just breaking it down. I want to point out, I can't really do anything except groove along with them. And enjoy this little... What's this called? Like, and then they just die. What's that kind of festival called? Like a... Obon or something like that? Where you just have they've got the drum and everything. For some reason, just a traditional Japanese dance in the middle there. God, I love that shark. He's not trying to hurt anybody. He's living his best life out here. Pretty sure most of this level I can just not fight stuff. Here's the javelin man. Catch my javelin. I'd rather not. How much damage can I do or do I have to reflect his javelins? Is that my only way to fight? Do I actually have to play the game the way you're supposed to for a change? Yep, that was fine. Now we've got the key, we can leave. The shark is one of the best enemy designs I've ever seen in a video game. Like, not just an NES game, not just like a horror game, just in any video game. He's majestic. So those jumps are really, really tight. They did, Glail. Oh, you can just kind of jump on top of the water if you need to. Don't need to go in here. Yeah, Circle of the Moon got retconned eventually. The Legacy of Darkness, the N64 game that came after. You don't like Harmony of Dissonance or Aria of Sorrow? I quite like both of those. Harmony of Dissonance might be the ugliest game on the GBA. I still like it. Ooh, I do have something I'm looking forward to in the mail, which is a copy of Castlevania Legends for the original Game Boy. It's the only one of the original Game Boy Castlevanias that I don't have, and it's not one with a very good reputation. But I'm excited to try it and see, is it as bad as people say it is? Also, we cleared that level easy. Easy peasy. Yeah, I just feel like Sonia Belmont deserves a game. Like, her one game gets retconned and her other game gets canceled. You know? With Castlevania Resurrection, which was a planned 3D Castlevania for the Dreamcast. That, from the leaked builds we've seen of it, looks a lot like it was pretty much just kind of like Castlevania 64 refined and with better graphics. Okay, this level 6, this is one with a huge maze in it. I'm going to look up a map, because I don't feel masochistic tonight. Let me see. Because it's just a huge warping maze door. And that's no fun. Unless you want to draw out the whole thing yourself. Let's see. Good old game FAQs. Where's our map to consult? Level 6 solution map. There we go. Let me see. Is there a thing on here? Oh, that's fun, Greelson. I would pay pretty much anything for a new Sega console. Yeah, no, the sprite work on Harmony of Dissonance is awful, Glail. Like, it's one of the ugliest games on the system. And I think, excuse me, I think it was them compensating for how hard to see Circle of the Moon was on the original Game Boy hardware. Because I'll just pull up the map. That's all I need. The original Game Boy Advance hardware was extremely hard to see where you were going, basically. Also, if I'm remembering right, this whole level's just one huge maze, full of stuff that can kill you pretty much instantly, if not very arbitrarily. The SP is a wonderful handheld. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, that gave us health at least. Also, one thing I'm sure you've noticed is there have been a few palette swaps, like color swaps for the main character and stuff, and I think that's just so they could use a more diverse set of colors on other levels throughout the game, which I think is a really clever solution. Excuse me. Yeah. Well, I played Circle of the Moon not long after it came out, Glail, on the original GBA, and unless you were directly under a lamp, it was really hard to see. Even if you were directly under a lamp, it was pretty hard to see. I do recommend, if you are technically inclined, get yourself a aftermarket lighting solution for the original Game Boy Advance and solder it in. You can get a really nice looking lit screen on the original form factor GBA. Very highly recommend it. I would also say I really like the Game Boy Micro, which is weird because I have absolutely massive hands, but the Micro is still somehow very comfortable to hold, and the screen, because it has such high pixel density, looks really nice. Wormlight Brothers, how we holding up? God, I still have a Wormlight from my Game Boy Color. Okay, no, I think I want to go to the next. Yeah, there we go. Where am I? This level's already terrible. Okay, that should bring me. Okay, I know. Oh, this chair's about to fuck me up. This chair's about to end my whole career. There we go. Ooh, the earliest system that I own, Greelson, is probably a Radio Shack Color Pong unit, if you count that. And if not, it's just an Atari 2600. I do not have a Magnavox Odyssey or a Fairchild Channel F. I would love to get a Magnavox Odyssey 2 or a Fairchild Channel F, but it's also just kind of funny thinking nowadays that, oh yeah, Fairchild Semiconductors made a gaming console. And not only did Fairchild Semiconductors make a gaming console, they made what was in fact the first gaming console with interchangeable cartridges. It may, Burnsy, I would need to look that up. But it was the first home system with interchangeable gaming cartridges, the way we think of them today. Which is a interesting little historical oddity for you. Sorry, I'm consulting the map here. Oh, I know the one you mean, Vaughn. Okay, we've got to go. I love how we can just reflect the stage's lightning. Here's our boss for the stage. Which one? God, this thing's a nightmare. Oh, that's the one, though. I see it. I think I just lucky guessed before. This is really hard without being Bert. His movements are totally unpredictable. He's really hard to see. Oh, I lost him. There he is. This is tricky. There he is. The sprite flicker is not helping things here. There he is. Oh, I died. So they did, Greelson. They were... I don't think... They did not have any third-party developers at the time, however. The concept of a third-party developer for a video game system did not come around until Activision, actually, in the Atari days. Where does B take me? Sorry, I'm trying to follow this map, which is quite confusing. So we've got everybody's worst enemy here, Pants. Just a pair of pants walking around. Which I want to see if I can stun lock here. Okay, good. Pants Pants gave us a pill, and now we can be big alien man. Let's see, do I want to go? I want to go to this door on the right. Some good pantalones there. Oh, the pants should... there we go. If we get to the boss as, Bert here, which I think we're going to be able to do, we'll have a much better... I wish I had a top loader, Burnsy, because I would AV mod that for better picture. Yeah, where's Ernie? Which one? Which one indeed? This one. Let's just keep the firepower up on him. There we go. Now we've got the boss key, and we can leave. Assuming we don't get killed by the stage first. Okay, hold on. I'm consulting my map again here. Being a bit of a cheater. Trying to see what my fastest way out is. Yeah, that boss sucks. It's not so bad if you have Bert and you can fly and shoot. As Mark, with just the bat, it's really hard. Trying to see. Need to get to either... Oh, they won't just die, Burnsy. Don't worry. They're really easy to fix if they do, too. They are durable systems in that they can be very easily repaired when they break. So that's what I would recommend. You know, if they ever break, you can fix them pretty easily. I think that should take me... Where am I? Oh yeah, the N64, good luck trying to break it. The weird thing with the NES is while the cartridge slot does fail easily, it's easy to replace, and it's almost impossible to really, truly break one. So I wouldn't be nervous about that. Let's see. Okay, I see where I am now. Sorry, I had to orient myself in the stage here. That's P. I need to go to... I'm trying to follow. This stage is a terrible, terrible maze. If anybody wants to see what the level layout looks like, it's this. I'll drop the link in the chat. It's really, really unpleasant to have to navigate. I'm at P right now. If I go to... Okay, I'll go to R. Oh, I want to kill those pants. I have to kill the pants the old-fashioned way. With a bat. Well, at least I got some health for my troubles. That should drop me... Okay, I need to get around that chair. Then I'll go through this door, drop down from a door high up. Okay, yep. And now the next door I go in should lead me... This will bring me to the exit now, I think. Yep, there's the exit door. Awful. Awful. Yeah, it's a rotten level. Without that map, it would just be super miserable. You could still do it. You know, you could map that out on paper if you want. But why would you? I'll put my hat back on, Grierson. Give me a moment as I write down this passcode. Also, this is not a very good font. It's quite easy to mix up like a 0 and an O. All right, let me get changed. Hold on 1 second. Hello, Ringo. I'm doing very well. I am currently actually breezing right through Monster Party for the NES. I'm doing very well at it. Which I'm going to knock on wood right now to not jinx myself too thoroughly. Pull my game capture back up. There we go. We've just got 2 stages left, I believe. And that one... Oh, so this is the stage. I know there's an enemy that if you kill it, you can actually soft lock your entire game. Which is not good. Yeah, it's a vertical scrolling stage. But you can... Let me find the walkthrough here. Because there's an enemy where you're not supposed to kill it. So don't do that. Is the my understanding here. And I don't remember which one I'm supposed to kill or not kill. So we're just gonna play it. And if we need to restart it, we restart it. Also, I don't like that elephant man. It feels bad that we're attacking the elephant man. That doesn't seem morally right. Oh, hold on. The floors are labeled. That should help me. So let's see. Floor 1, Umpire, Elephant Man, Neon Ghost. We can hit the ghost with a bat. He does look more like a dude with an elephant costume than the Elephant Man, so that's something, I guess. We're not being that horrible. So we can jump through the floor, climb up the ladder. Floor 2. Man, that thing's zooming around fast. I think if we can make contact with it, it shouldn't be too bad to kill. One thing to keep in mind is that Mark's bat, when it's just held out in midair, will continually register hits on stuff. So that's why when you see me fighting bosses, a lot of the time I'm just jumping and holding the bat out like that, because that ends up doing the most damage to most enemies, because it'll just register hit after hit after hit. But there's nothing preventing you from also taking damage, so you need to be careful not to get too into their zone. Yeah, that's why this doesn't quite leave the, like, kind of B tier of NES games. Do you know what I mean? Also, this boss, he's a caterpillar named Royce. You want to know how he attacks? Royce rolls. It's a terrible pun. The entirety of the boss is just a pun. But he's also fast as hell. Really unpleasant to fight. The puns are great. Oh, that was rough. Yeah, the game deserves a tomato thrown at it for some of the puns. I love them, but they are... And that umpire was really chasing me down. I also don't like that the Elephant Man has his face hidden until you hit him. That feels mean. Like, that feels mean-spirited. I do like the look of this ghost, though. Yeah, Rolls Royce. You got it. I want the heart he can give us, though. Come on. There we go. I hope they didn't, Hanabi, because if they did realize that, that would mean that they just did it anyway. That's worse. If it's, like, an accident, that's one thing. Yeah. Hey, Lyles, welcome on in. What were you up to? Let's get you shouted out here. Oh, Shining Force, hell yeah. The Genesis one, the original. But welcome on in, Raiders. For anybody who doesn't know, my name is Professor Bloom. I'm a teacher. I do lots of singing. I organize a VTuber choir, and I play lots of retro games on all real hardware. So tonight, I am playing Monster Party for the NES, which is a very weird action platformer with lots of parodies of, like, horror movies and spooky stuff like that. I'm wondering if I can't come back to this floor. Can I go back down? Yes, I can. Let me get Burt power, then I'll go back down. But this is a super weird game about a boy who gets abducted by an alien after a baseball game of his, and then has to go save their world by hitting everything with his bat. That's the plot, and it's filled with shocking amounts of blood and guts for an NES game. And I do mean that. There is genuine gore in this game, which for the NES was obviously not a common occurrence. It is a little bit janky, however. I like it, but it's a bit of a weird one. I can't remember if this is the boss I need to not kill. There is one boss that if you kill it, it soft locks the game, apparently. Which sucks. Okay, I think one of the neon ghosts in the first room outside the caterpillar boss should have dropped a pill, but I'll go back down there and reharvest it. Oh yeah, Lyles. You'll see when I get to something like the screen select stage that it's just like doused in blood, like skeletons in a lake of blood. I don't know how this got past like Nintendo of America's standards back in the day. Really freaked me out as a kid. So let's try to get a quick showing of that. Okay, there we go. Now this boss won't be so bad. We've got Royce Rollin here. Which is a terrible, terrible pun. Right? It's fun when you see, you know, what developers were thinking while they were making their games. Okay, this should give us more pill. Do either of these guys drop health? So that would be great if they did. They do not. Let's refresh our pill supply again. Can I not? There we go. I do like that item drops are kind of fixed in this. Yeah, I feel like this game is the kind that gained enough notoriety over the years that people who haven't played it still recognize it. I think it's worth a play, for sure. But just know that it is kind of janky. You know, I wouldn't put it in, like, the upper echelon of NES games in terms of quality. But I think it's certainly weird enough and fun enough to be worth a try, you know? It's a game everybody should play at least once. Alright, I think there should be some hearts in this stage. I hope. Nope. This is getting dicey. Really need some health. Like, really need some health. I'll take a pill, but that didn't help at all. We've got a boss in here. I think it's the Grim Reaper. Welcome, entrance to hell. I also can't think of many other NES games that say hell. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just a little weird, you know? Yeah, they straight up say hell. That's just the Grim Reaper. Here's your game over screen, Lyles, just drenched in blood and the most cheerful music in the game. It's a very strange game. They can't have, Glail. Like, there's no way they actually looked at this game. Because most of this wouldn't fly on the Super Nintendo, not until the ESRB was in place. This game is more violent than, like, Mortal Kombat 1 on the Super Nintendo was. Which I know people are, you know, fond of the Genesis version because it had the blood code. But if we're being honest, the Genesis version of Mortal Kombat 1 played like ass. Like, it wasn't good, it just had the blood. Super Nintendo version's not great either, but Mortal Kombat 1 isn't a very good game. Mortal Kombat 2 is a much better game, a lot more fun. That on Super Nintendo has all the blood, and is just a million times better than the Genesis version. Even if they saw the first screen, Glail, the first screen has that amount of, like, blood and guts on it. So it's like, I don't know what they were doing at all. Yeah, like, I just want to know, like, how did this happen? I'm not complaining. Granted, I was mildly traumatized as a child by just how freaky this game was. But, you know, I want to know, like, what's the story? Because there's got to be a story here. You know, a game this weird doesn't happen without some kind of weird, you know, backstory to it. And again, not complaining. It's a fun game, I think. You know, it's got a weird enough setting and enough heart to offset the things about it that aren't great. If that makes any sense, like, it's not a well-made game, but it's interesting, and I'll take an interesting game that's a little janky over a well-made game that's boring every single time. Alright, we're doing well on health this time. The Grim Reaper got nothing on us. He won't know what hit him. Oh, he got a lot of health. It's also worth pointing out that you almost never get, like, full health in this game. It's exceedingly rare to be at full health. You have to, like, really work for that. Also, I just can't believe that he just says, welcome, entrance to hell. Yeah, it was Parody World, Soviet Slow. That was going to be the Famicom version, but that version never came out. This game only released in the US, I believe, and maybe Europe? I would need to check on that. But, like, you've got a Grim Reaper covered in blood, essentially. It's like, this game's hardcore. This game's got a lot going on. And let's see. I think I just need to get to floor... Okay, so if you go to floor 13 and you've defeated the first two bosses like I have, yeah, I do have Narc as well, Eddie. Which isn't a very... Even in the arcade, I didn't think it was that fun, and on NES, it's just kind of boring. So we don't want to go through the door on floor 13. So we just need to go to the exit door. If you fight the last boss, you will lose the master key that lets you leave the level. Yeah, they took the war on drugs thing really literally. Alright, I think we can just get out of here. Fighting these enemies as Mark instead of Bert is awful, by the way. Like, you really want to try to have Bert for this. Just for the sake of progression. There we go. We're just going to keep going till we get to the exit door because there's no longer any bosses we need to fight. And the exit door we'll be able to tell because it looks different. Also, one thing I remember from the last time I played this... Yeah, there's the exit door. Well, let's see if they have goodies for us. They do not. The last time I played this, I remember flying around lost aimlessly on the last level for quite a while. Because... Oh, let me write this down. Because for the only time in the game, you need to start off by going left instead of going right. Which, what video game back then had you go left instead of right? It was very weird. Alright, let's jot down this password. I don't even know why I'm doing that, because I think I have unlimited continues, but call it habit. Yes, round 8, we are now in the stars above Dark World, and you need to go to the left. Watch out, baby. Oh yeah, this boss is awful. Because it just gets in your face so quickly, you can't do anything about it. Basically, the strategy for this one is don't be Bert. Or don't be Mark, be Bert. Otherwise, you're hosed. You've got these kind of dynamite things coming at you. Which at least do drop pills quite regularly. You've got the Big Dipper shooting at you. Like, everything in this game is just weird. I appreciate how weird it is, but it's like... What was going on? Face my wrath. Just got some nightmare creature full of blood and guts and eyeballs watching us behind us. Like, what were they on? Like, what was going on when this game got made? I really want to know. I also really need pills, and I think those guys are supposed to drop some. I don't think we go into this building. This was made in Japan, Glail, by the company Human Entertainment, who, weirdly, are the same developer that make the Fire Pro Wrestling series. Which, if I'm remembering correctly, I think it's one of the Fire Pro Wrestling games on the... Oh boy, Mark Soup. I think it's... Yeah, it is the Fire Pro guys, Hanabi. And if I'm remembering right, I think it's Fire Pro Wrestling 2 on Super Famicom. Has the story mode... Yeah, they did make Clock Tower. Has the story mode that was the game directorial debut of Suda 51, where I believe at the end of that story mode, the story mode's crazy, for one. Yeah, it's either 2 or 3. It's one of them. Your mentor is killed in the ring, like murdered by your biggest rival. You eventually beat the guy, you win, you're the champion. Then your character goes home and just shoots himself in the head. He just commits suicide. Like, you hear him go inside, you hear a gunshot and the screen goes black, and that's the end of the story mode. Like, you won, and it's empty. Completely. Like, you won, but it doesn't matter. Your friend is still dead. Like, just incredible. Also, look, this guy's like moving around on a geyser of blood. Just like immediately ends your life. So I need pills, please. The stage also just drops you right in there. No explanation, no time to get your bearings. Gotta fight this terrible centipede thing again. I don't know how to fight. I think the best thing I can do is just be in the corner, in the spotlight, losing my religion, trying to keep a view, and I don't know if I can do it. Oh, I was too slow. I could have gotten to the heart, but I was too slow. Just... level is absolutely, like, impossible if you're not Bert. Which, thankfully, they give you plenty of pills, so you can be Bert pretty much all the time. Maybe I should come back to this after I get more health or figure out a better pattern. But I kind of want to just get it over with. Thing is, you can take hits constantly, and it doesn't matter how fast I'm mashing the B button. You can't shoot faster than that. So I'm really wondering what the way to go is on this. Maybe just get health first, and then just try to tank it. I can't remember what I did the last time I played this. Can we kill the Big Dipper? Oh, there's some health at least. Alright, let's just try. And I don't think the witch can be killed. Because I remember trying and I just don't think it can be done. Yeah, it registered damage. I don't know if it's killable, though. I wish it was. That'd be nice. I know the witch can take damage as well, but I don't know if she can die, is the thing. This dynamite is also really hard to hit because your shot kind of fires in a parabola, making it really hard to be precise with it. Anything in here? Empty. I do like that it's empty eye sockets behind you. And also, in a nice touch, the final boss of the game is just a pair of giant eyeballs with a nose. And that's what you fight. Come on. Okay, I think the next one was... yeah, this guy who I think I can just kind of float around and shoot. He died pretty quickly. It's Groucho Marx. May as well be Grierson. Oh my god. That was terrible. I might need to just, get lucky at this point. Nothing. Come on, give me something. Give me the pill at least, so that I can survive for a second. Big Dipper's gonna kill me. Don't think that's a sentence I've ever said before in my life, even when I played this game last. Alright, 1 HP in a dream, baby. Let's go. Let's go. We're still alive somehow. Oh, you've missed some weird stuff, Spoon. Let's see. Okay. That should be pretty easy to kill. Nope, I didn't get out of the way in time. Yeah, so, Glail, thinking of that, there's actually a pretty interesting phenomena, kind of exclusive to the North American market, where a lot of Japanese games in the Super Nintendo era would be made artificially more difficult for their North American release, because video game rental was not popular. It wasn't really a thing in Japan, but it dominated the US market. So developers not wanting their games to just be rented for a single weekend, publishers actually would often demand that their games be made much more difficult for their international releases. So there's plenty of games that on Super Famicom are a pretty easy, breezy playthrough, where on Super Nintendo they've been made much, much harder. Oh, completely diabolical, I agree. But it makes sense, you know? I don't like it, particularly, because there's some games that, you know, you could argue were ruined. Rocket Knight Adventures was made slightly easier, I think, Greelson. I think the default setting in Japan was one difficulty notch higher than its US release. Or I might have it backwards. Okay, this guy hasn't been too hard so far. Hopefully he won't kill me. He killed me. Yeah. Yeah, right? We've never been immune to the the effects of business on our video games. I do love Rocket Knight Adventures. That is one I played through on stream not too long ago. Oh yeah, that's true. You can't beat the game on the lowest difficulty setting. You don't get the ending. And that ending, it's super duper exciting, but holy crap, it's hard. Like, it's no joke. I have no idea how you would beat that game on its hardcore mode. Oh yeah, Working Designs were notorious for it. However, they weren't doing it for any rental market reason. They were doing it for God only knows why. Only Vic Ireland knows. I wonder, can I kill the Big Dipper? It does not appear that I can. I don't mind occasional set pieces, Glail, but, you know. Yeah, it is labeled Children difficulty, Grilson. You're right. I cannot kill stars. Bummer. I do need more pills, however, if I want a chance of beating the upcoming boss. There's my pill. There we go. I don't mind an easy mode, though, saying, like, okay, now that you've learned the levels, play it again on the harder difficulty to see the rest of it. Like, Double Dragon 2 did that. Hello, X-Job. Double Dragon 2, if you played on anything but, like, the Supreme Master difficulty, it would tell you, you know, beat the game on a higher difficulty to see the rest of it. And I'm fine with that, you know, because that's basically saying, like, okay, this is like a practice mode, kind of. You've learned the beginning. Yeah. Well, and for shooting games in particular, like, that's important. Because that's what you do. You learn how to play the game. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. I don't mind being insulted occasionally. Rocket Knight also is the kind of game that, like, with practice, I really do think anybody could beat it. No, maybe not on a rental weekend, but you could definitely beat that game. Yeah, I want to be the guy I play through when... I wish that game was more fun, honestly. So I don't think it's bad, but... Oh, R-Type is just insane. R-Type is a game that demands you learn how to play it before you try to play it. It really depends on the type of game and the reason people are playing it, Spoon. So, for example, with Doom, you know, a lot of people in the Doom community have been playing Doom for, you know, decades at this point. So anything less than a real challenge isn't going to satisfy unless it's really creative in terms of its gameplay otherwise. But with some games, you know, like a platform game like this, for example, if they made it, you know, if this game decided to implement a hard mode but did it by making all enemies take twice as many hits to kill, it wouldn't be any fun, because the game would now be totally out of balance. So I think that's how it's, that would be the way to explain it, in my mind. You know, it really depends on the genre and on the player base. So for, you know, your hardcore shmups, you know, of course there are going to be people begging for the game to be made harder, or for it to have a second or third loop, or go for, you know, a high score. You know, there's a really good YouTube channel called Shmup Junkie that goes in depth on a lot of these things. And I am a casual shmup enjoyer. You know, I like them. I enjoy beating them, but I'm not a, you know, 1cc perfectionist. I will credit feed a game and feel fine about it. You know, I won't feel bad about it. The hardest shmup that I think I've beaten the proper way would be Ikaruga. Back when it came out on GameCube, I bought that brand new. Loved the game, was obsessed with the mechanics of it, getting it just right, and I can clear that game. It's a very hard game, and it's one that demands you learn how to play it, you know? Which, some players like that, some players hate that. So I think it really is there's no one answer correct on, how to handle difficulty in games. Some people will decry some story-based games having a difficulty that really is just meant for people who want to casually experience the story of a game. And I don't really mind that as long as the developers aren't taking away from the main experience. I say, yeah, go for it. Make it, a way that other people who, maybe don't have the skill. Yeah, something like that, where it's like, as long as you've got the options in there, and as long as you're not sacrificing the core experience of the game for people who might not have been its target audience in the first place, I think it's totally fine to, have a, well, we made this part easy. Or we wanted there to be a mode where everybody could experience the story. Cool. But plenty of games aren't story-based games. Some are, your shmups, where you could, have a practice mode with invulnerability for people to learn the stages, but you're not going to get the satisfaction of, clearing the game that way. So I love this enemy's design. Now that we've got the health, we can just tank him. And now we've got the key, we can go and face the final boss. Yeah, at the same time, I would never be upset if a game didn't have those options. But I say that as somebody who never needs those options, So again, I think it really comes down to what's your game, what's your audience. Let's see, I think we are about to be on to the final boss, which I really don't want to be Mark for, but... Oh no, that's not it. Well, at least that gave us one tick of health. Celeste was perfect with that. I loved Celeste for its challenge, and for the look and the music and all that. That was excellent. But I loved that it was just a, at times, complete pixel-perfect challenge game. Like, there's not a ton of those. But at the same time, it was a game that pretty much anybody could beat because of the, ways they let you customize your experience and your control. Oh my god, please someone drop health. A long stage. There's the boss door. Alright. Oh, I think the last stage is just the stage. I love that release still, Kamiyana. Also, look at this nightmare of a final boss. Just, you beat everybody. Also, good to see you, Kamiyana. Oh. Beat me and you can leave. Come and die. Just shoot him in the open nose. He won't take that many hits. I remember this being a fairly underwhelming final boss relative to some of the other ones. Oh, got him. And that's the game. I beat that really quickly. Alright, prepare yourself, class, for the most horrific ending cutscene in an NES game. Like, really. You are not going to believe this. Mark destroyed the monsters. Bert gave him a gift. Yeah, the Sky Dragon was terrible. Oh, it's something else, Kamiyana. And Mark went home. He excitedly opened the box. Now, what do you think's gonna happen? Yeah, he just got a gift. He just saved Monster World. A beautiful princess came out. Oh, look at that smile. He knows. Oh, he's very excited now. But suddenly, the princess became a monster. And more monsters. Also, just look at the blood pouring everywhere. And more monsters followed her. Look at her turning into this disgusting, like, zombie thing with bleeding skulls on, you know, gory spinal cords coming up. Mark was scared and screamed. It's gonna get mind-blowing. Ah! They just fucking exploded that 10-year-old boy. Mark's fucking dead. They just, like, Raiders of the Lost Ark face melted him. Like, he just fucking dies. Mark was awakened by his mom. You'll be late. It was a dream. I'm leaving. No kid would be running away that chipper. Yeah, exactly, Eddie. Plus, that's the only bit of, like, shocking violence in Bionic Commando. This game has it the whole way through. I'm leaving. Mark opened the door. Bert was there. He whispered to Mark, "Let's go again." So was it a dream? Game design, Cream Haruna, Kame Yankee, Dandy Kobayashi, Dragon Nakashima. Programmers, Sokyask, Cream Haruna, Jazzy Toru, Desiree Taro. Dragon Nakashima, Dandy Kobayashi, Wolf Saito. I love these names. Music, Miku Monkey, Hashimoto Travolta. Presented by Bandai, Shinsei. And then we've got a jammin' little tune at the end here. What an ending, though. Like, yeah, Hanabi, exactly. I'm a grown-ass adult. If I had that dream, I would just be standing in the shower for like 30 minutes, just trying to be like, what was that? Like, what happened? Also, the music here is so good. Like, this is it's such a weird game for NES. Like, I can't say that it's good, but I really, really like it. And I would recommend everybody give it a playthrough. Because, I mean, I just beat it in like an hour and a half. It's not that hard once you know how to play it and what to expect. But yeah, that happened is the way to put it, Greelson. And then that's it. You know, I'm hitting all the buttons on the controller and I can't really do anything. But we're not done for tonight. What I'm going to do next, class, we are going to take a look at the award ceremony for the Bloom Golf Classic. A lot of people participated in the first ever Beat Bloom Challenge. And I am very excited to say, one person beat me. I didn't go undefeated through this, but I have certificates ready for everybody who participated. If I miss somebody, let me know and I can make you up a certificate. I tried my best to get everybody going through the hashtag. I'm glad you like that, Jones. You just missed the completely gory, bizarre ending of Monster Party on NES. So you know what? Why don't gonna make a tweet that we're gonna start the Beat Bloom award ceremony in 10 minutes. So give me 1 second. Hold on. Let's do the Beat Bloom award ceremony in 10 minutes. Yep, you were literally like 3 minutes too late, Jones. I mean, it's awesome. You should play Monster Party. It's a lot of fun. Give me 1 second. And here we go. And then I have to think, do I want to play another game tonight, or we're just going to call it an early night? Well, let me let you know what I've got going on for the rest of the week, class. So on Wednesday, we will be playing more of Going Down for Doom 2, looking to finish it. We have map 18 to the end. It gets nuts. It gets completely bonkers, some of the most creative Doom levels you will ever see. Then on Friday, I'm going to be doing some playthroughs of the original Castlevania for NES. I am going to be participating in Dot Level's Classicvania Challenge. She's got a contest going on where you can earn yourself a bronze, silver, or gold medal. You get a gold if you can beat any of the games on the list, which are all the classic Castlevania games. So not open world ones, not 3D ones. So like Castlevania 1, 3, 4, Bloodlines, the handheld ones, those ones. If you can beat them without dying a single time, you get a gold medal. Beat one without a continue, you get a silver, and just beat it, and you get a bronze. So I will at least be getting a bronze in Castlevania 1, hopefully a silver. So Friday night, that's what I'll be doing. Potentially Castlevania 3 as well, if I just plow through 1. Not likely, but we'll see. Then Saturday at 1 p.m., I have another race coming up with an NES game. I'll be with Latanya. We will be racing Fazanadu on NES. We both really like that game. Neither of us have played it through in years, but I made a little mock-up for that. So let me pull that image up. Give me 1 sec. There we go. So that will be at 1 p.m. on Saturday. So do look forward to that. I don't think it's going to go very well for me. I have not practiced at all. I don't remember the last time I beat that game. It should be a mess. But it'll be a lot of fun, because it's a game we both have fond memories of, and it's a 2D side-scrolling action RPG on NES, which is one of my favorite genres, as I know I have mentioned a number of times. I'm also just happy that I found a Fazanadu font that I could download and use. It's a very distinctive font. Let me reset Monster Party. Actually, I'm going to go use the bathroom quickly, and when we come back... Oh, it's a big pain figuring out what to do, Max. I'll be right back. I'm going to go use the bathroom. And then when I come back, we can go ahead and go through the awards ceremony. So let me leave you with some good music. As always, if you identify it, you get a gold star. And I'll be back in a minute, class. Not Batman Jones. This is Bucky O'Hare from Konami. Most of the devs who made this then would go on to form Treasure a couple years later. This is not a game I've ever owned. I would really like to, because it looks like a ton of fun. You know what? Just until it's time. We've got a couple minutes. Let's enjoy ourselves a tiny sliver of level 1 here. Thank you, Kamiyana. So you can see just how innocently this game starts out relative to the madness that comes later. You know, it starts looking like a strange NES game, but not sinister, you know, more weird than anything. But very quickly it gets totally bizarre. So I do love that the first boss is basically just Audrey 2. Also, they left in a speaker. They meant to remove it completely, but the hitbox for it is still there. Because this was originally going to be all parodies of excuse me, things from movies. But that got changed in the localization process. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the developers of the version, Greelson, took a lot from this. Hey, thank you for the follow, Painin9001. Appreciate it. Let me show you the screen in this game that freaked me out as a kid. I don't know why it freaked me out so much. But man, something about it just really, really gets me. Thank you. I'm glad you like the hat. It's there because I sing a lot of barbershop music, like barbershop quartets, as you heard from that greeting. That was just 4 of me. Yeah, it's this room that freaked me out so bad. You go in expecting to fight a boss, and the boss is just already dead, and just says, "Sorry, I'm dead." And it just looks so freaky, and there's just a fly circling around it. Yeah, very Lynchian. Yeah, that's why the stream notification today was, "Sorry, I'm dead." And you can reflect projectiles with your bat, which is pretty neat. Any kind of physics-based gameplay for 1989 is kind of unique, kind of a novelty. But, you know, you're walking along, then you cross this line, and the whole world turns into a nightmare. Like, bloodied heads on, you know, stakes in the background, bleeding skulls everywhere. The enemies get freakier. Like, you get these dogs with a man's face just running straight at you, covered in blood. Super weird looking. The music gets sinister. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that, you know, for the 8-bit era, that's a set piece. The head dogs are so freaky. I don't know if I'd call the head dogs a good boy. I don't know if they get the good boy license. Let's fight this boss without... And then you just get to this guy who just says, "Please don't pick on me." Like, what? Am I the good guy? Am I the bad guy? What's going on here? Fine, I'll praise the head dog. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You're a good boy, Mr. Dog with a human face. There's the voice reserved for calling dogs good boys. Or that I use with my cat, except I'll usually be calling him, like, a big asshole or something. Oh, was it? So I have not played Undertale, Greelson. I've watched other people play it. So it would not surprise me at all if Toby Fox was aware of and a fan of this game. So I feel like this is the kind of game, it sticks with you. Like, even if you only saw it once as a kid, this game sticks with you. Now, I know this game can be speedrun fairly quickly. A streamer I watch, Arcus, is a top-quality NES speedrunner. He, I think, did a 19-minute run of it. So I think it's possible to go very, very quickly through this game. I don't have any desire to learn the route for that. It's called the Lukes. Is that how you say that? Oh. Luke's Eyewalker. Very, very clever. I like that Medusa's shriek is high-pitched. I don't know why. It's just a nice little detail. Not like this is a super, high-quality game. I don't mean to keep insulting it. But, it's not on the level of, your top quality NES games. But it's weird enough and cool enough that you don't really mind. It's worth the playthrough. And if you try this out, you might find that it's a lot more difficult to control than you might expect based on watching the stream. That's because I've, played it before a bunch of times. And I'm pretty used to how it controls. If you're not, this game will probably kill you a lot in the first couple stages. Just because the game has its own kind of internal logic, I think is the way I would put it. And not everything in it makes sense. And that's okay. You just learn the game's logic and go from there. There we go. I can't remember if this is a boss room or not. It's not. Some of the boss rooms are empty. You just kind of need to know which is which. Generally doesn't matter, except for that one on stage 7 where you're going vertically, where you can fight one boss too many, which I just have to assume is the result of a glitch or something. I don't know why they would make that way as a deliberate decision, but who knows? Human Entertainment were a weird company. Yeah, there are a lot. I think there's 21 bosses in this game, Furrow. Like, there are a lot. Especially for a game this old. You don't think of NES games typically as having multiple boss enemies per stage. So that's kind of cool. That stands out from the crowd. Makes the game a little more unique. It's also just, I don't know, it's got like an addictive quality to it. Maybe I'm just too in love with bad games. Like, I don't know at this point. That could be a real factor. Yes, it does. If you beat all 3 in Stage 7 Soviet Slow, you cannot progress. And if you're going in every door as you go, you will very naturally have arrived at 2 of the bosses, which are a wonderful caterpillar named Royce, who rolls at you. Oh yeah, so the pun here, do you see those teleporters? Like in the movie The Fly. Now, say Fly with a stereotypically racist Japanese voice. The Fry. And we've got your boss. Which, they were the ones making the joke. Oh, this game is full of puns, Furrow. My favorite is the caterpillar named Royce, who rolls at you. Rolls Royce. It's great. I love puns, though, so I can't, I'm not to be trusted when I say that's great. There we go. Also, just for the kind of shock value of this game, seeing that much, like, blood and gore in an NES game is weird. Like, it's disarming. You're not used to it. Oh, yeah. The Japanese game developers typically love including puns in their games like that. Plus, it's just a good way to reference the movie The Fly. Which, man, the practical effects in that hold up so well. Like, they're so horrific looking. No, it's not a rare game at all, Crocopete. You should be able to find one for probably $10 to $20, I think. I don't know how much it goes for these days because I have had this copy for like 30 years, so I don't know what it costs now. But it can't be much. It's not like a hard-to-find game. Yeah, this was the kind of game, it was always, around. This is like the kind of game where if you didn't have it, either a kid in your neighborhood did or like a cousin of yours did. There were always games like that where it was like, maybe it was nobody's first choice game, but like everybody knew someone who had it. It's just one of those games that was around. I don't know any better way to describe it than that. You know, where there were always games where it's like either the rental shop always had a copy or two, or it's like, it's not that they're bad games, it was just like, you know, always you're like, okay, the game I wanted to rent isn't there, maybe it's too new, maybe all the copies are checked out, maybe they don't have a copy, so let me get this instead. Like that kind of game. Which, you know, you need space in your heart for games like that. You know, not every game needs to be the 10 out of 10, you know, Super Mario World, you know, Sonic 2. Like, not every game needs to be perfect. It's fine for a game to just be fine. For a game to be a fun weekend and that's it. You know, I think one thing a lot of people have happen to them that they maybe don't realize happened to them when they get older and then suddenly they have, you know, the money to buy video games when they want to, is that when you're a kid, you have limited access to games because, you know, you don't have your own money for the most part, so you can't just, you know, buy whatever games you feel like, so you learn to like the games you have, even if they're kind of shitty. Like, you just get used to it. Like, or a game that you might think, oh, it's not very good. Well, maybe you're just bad at controlling it because you haven't played it enough. I mean, granted, there's definitely times when a game is just bad. I'm not going to pretend there are no bad games out there. Also, move it. Get it? Because he's a big minotaur and he shoots cows at you. Very, very silly. You can reflect the cows back at him if you want, but it's easy enough to just hit him with a bat a lot. Baseball bat is also a perfect video game weapon. It's just direct application of violence. And then once you get in the flow of the game, I don't know, it starts to get really fun for me. Oh, absolutely, Glail. Well, the other thing is, you know, apart from a couple developers, not a lot of Western developers were particularly good at making NES games. Like, just on a pure technical level. Like, you had companies like Rare, obviously, that were quite technically proficient. Even if I'm gonna say something that a lot of people might find heretical. Don't think most of Rare's NES games are very good. I've never liked Wizards and Warriors. I know a ton of people love that game. And Iron Sword. I don't know anybody who loves Wizards and Warriors 3. But I don't know, something about that game, I never liked the way it moved at like a million miles an hour, and there's no, like, clear, I don't know. Your sword is like 3 pixels long. Sucks. I don't like it. Never liked it. I've never understood why so many people love it. Or like, the Donkey Kong Country games, like, I think they're fine. Some people are out here like, they're the best. Yeah, that's Iron Sword. That's the sequel. Which, I do love the Fabio art. That's peak NES. I don't know. They were just, maybe I'll force myself to play. Thank you, Tachikuro. Captain Skyhawk is an amazing game. And I feel like nobody talks about it. Super fast scrolling. Well, I will say, I do also like Snake Rattle and Roll on the NES. Cobra Triangle's pretty good too. Those are all Rare. Battletoads is good. Battletoads is good. Rare had unquestionable, like, technical mastery, but yeah, I don't know what his name was supposed to be originally, Glail, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was also supposed to be a pun of some form. Hate yourself and want to play Solar Jet, man. I think for me, the thing that gets me with a lot of Rare's games is they're very European. I mean that in a non-complimentary way, where the best part of the game is usually the first 10 minutes. Yeah, no, they were called Ultimate Play of the Game back then, Grilson. Some of their first NES games, I think, were under that or otherwise published under different publishers. Yeah, European video game derogatory. I mean, yeah, though. Like, I know a lot of people have very fond memories of games on their Spectrums and on their, Amstrad CPC. I don't want to tell you that your childhood memories are wrong, but they are. I mean, sure, there are good games on it. There's good games on every platform. But I feel like in terms of just general game design, I don't think most of them are very good. And I remember, I think it was someone at Rare said when they first, started working with, Nintendo and with Japanese companies, they played, I think it was just Super Mario Bros. And they were marveling at the way that the game's levels got better the longer you played it. They didn't just put the best level up front so that someone would rent it and then buy it, or they would play the shareware and then buy the game because the first level was good. They were like blown away. They're like, wait, the game gets better the more you play it? It was like a revelation to them, just because that's not how the business worked there. Yeah, a lot of European games ran at 50 hertz instead of 60 hertz because they used the PAL video standard as opposed to NTSC. PAL had the advantage of greater resolution and more faithful color reproduction, whereas NTSC ran faster. And that's basically down to, actually, electrical supply is a big part of it, as to why different territories had things at different, hertz, cycles per second in terms of electricity. A lot of that goes down to the electrical grid, which, dates back to the 1800s in most places, and decisions being made around that kind of thing. It's a weird history. Oh, Perfect Dark is a very well-designed game. I'm hard-pressed to recommend anybody play the N64 version these days, just because there is that excellent Xbox Live port. Yeah, they did get better, Glail. Actually, one thing that was very funny... Oh, the music did change for the stage. Someone had wondered about it before. Very, galloping bass sound, like, Iron Maiden, kind of. But let's put him to bed. There we go. Ooh, what's different in Eco? Because I'm not aware of the regional differences there. No, it's not hard rock, but I don't hold it against human entertainment for not knowing how to get hard rock out of the NES. Not everybody can be Tim Follin. Not everybody can somehow extract a prog rock solo from their NES. And these scorpion enemies are annoying. There we go. Don't want to go down there. Oh, what kind of bonus things, Glail? It's funny, thinking of, oh yeah, the Pictionary soundtrack goes so hard for no reason at all. It's amazing. It's worth buying a copy of that game just to hear the soundtrack. So I realized I forgot a key somewhere. So we're going to call it there for Monster Party, because we beat the game already. We beat the game. What we're going to do now... Yeah, there is no timer. Yeah, right? Put it in a game that's not Pictionary. Put it in anything else. Let me put away the TV and get a soundtrack going, because it is time for the first ever Beat Bloom Awards ceremony. I hope you are excited. What I did for people's pictures, I did just rip people's Twitter profile pictures. So apologies if those aren't, what you would have chosen for yourself. They're what I did because they were accessible. But these are in no particular order. They're kind of in whatever order my folder has put them in. But let us see our awards. So, this is your award certificate. This is how they look, everybody. It is the hashtag BeatBloom Certificate of Achievement in Golf. So this award has been awarded to the American Pineapple for Outstanding Achievement in Golf. This is the Nearly Nice Award because their score was 1 away from 69. It was very nearly nice. So congratulations, American Pineapple, on your very nearly nice score. Congratulations. I have tried my best to come up with clever little award names for everybody. So hopefully, and if I forgot anybody, if you submitted a score, yeah, golf claps for everyone. If I forgot you in this, it means that I didn't see it in the hashtag. Please just reach out to me, shoot me a DM or something, and I can get you a certificate for your hard-fought golf efforts. I do not want to miss anybody here because this was a ton of fun for me, seeing everybody participating, having a good time. I've got to ask, how did you all find NES Golf? Because it is, it's not easy, is it? It's really, really hard. It's a lot of fun, though. It's really addictive. Like, I don't know about you, but yeah, I kept finding myself, like, even though I already did my part in the competition, I just kept hopping back in and playing more. Just like, you know, I'd be watching a stream or something and just put in golf and just play while watching something, you know? Just, it's so direct, it's so quick to just hop in and out. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You had to come down from your real life score. So, congratulations. So these will all be posted to Twitter after the stream. Oh, it really is Soviet slow. Yeah, real golf's easier. Oh yeah, no, the modern conveniences are nice, but if you think that this one, you know, NES Golf came out in 1984, it really... Yeah, I made it look way easier than it was. That's true not just of my Doom gameplay, but of a lot of the retro games I play too. But if you think, you know, 1984, the game's 38 years old. Our modern golf game template is still following that model. You know, down to the 3-click swing style. You know, it got so much right so early on in the history of golf games that I think it deserves a commendation for doing a lot right. Now let's see. This Beat Bloom Certificate of Achievement in Golf is awarded to Arthur A. Abbott. He gets the Arthur Award for a performance that can only make me say, Arthur. I think when he tweeted his score out, let me find the exact wording because it made me laugh quite a lot. Let me find his exact wording. No, I'm not going to scold Arthur. Arthur, was that really the best you could do? Was that the best assignment you could hand in? Let's see. When Arthur submitted his score, also American Pineapple got a -4. They came very close to beating me. My best on stream was a -7, and off stream I got a -8. But let's see. Well, it's good for me to have these tweets up anyway so that I can reference them. This is what Arthur said when submitting his score. NES Golf is the most genuinely evil creation a human being has ever sculpted. It haunts me in my nightmares. So in recognition of that, he gets the Arthur Award. It was not easy. I watched him play some of it, and I just kept thinking in my head, oh, Arthur. So, that is Arthur's award to collect. Everybody, we will still golf clap. We'll be... Honestly, getting through a round of golf in this game is an ordeal. And let's see. 2, Big Guy For You. Yeah, it's like watching Woozle play Winnie the Pooh's Home Run Derby. So... The certificate for Big Guy For You for Outstanding Achievement in Golf is the Touched Grass Award. Rather than participating in NES Golf, Big Guy For You had the excellent idea to actually go golfing and tweeted a picture of themselves out on the course. So for that, you get the Touched Grass Award, and honestly, I'm jealous because it looked like a gorgeous day. I've been meaning to try to go get to... I have a pretty nice local course that has a, like it's got two 18-hole. Yes, it is Epic 11. No, I'll put it in after this and play a couple rounds. Yeah, we've been having pretty nice weather right now, like mid-50s to mid-60s. Beautiful fall foliage out right now, so I would love to get out there and enjoy myself an afternoon, because there's a 9-hole course not far from me that I think for like under $30, it includes a cart rental. Yeah, 3-hour Andy Leon. But yes, you get the Touched Grass Award, big guy, for you. And I am envious. Let's see. This, Colum the Golem, Cole M. Emerson, is the champion of the Beat Bloom golf competition. They scored an unbelievable -14 and sent video proof. They legitimately got a -14, smashing my record on stream of a -7. They were in the zone and played one of the cleanest rounds of golf I have ever seen. Cole, I'm gonna shout Cole out, actually. If you don't follow Cole, you should. They're very cool. They do lots of playthroughs of like visual novels, and we'll have a whole voice cast for a lot of them. I think they've been playing Phoenix Wright currently. Whoops, nope, that's the wrong one. Sorry. This is the right one. Whoops, I need the shout out command. I'm making a mess of this. Oh, only one can be active at a time. Let me close this one. I don't know how to do this new system. Yeah, and Twitch is like, no, you can't do that. There we go. That should be the right one. Only one can... Okay, no, there we go. No, it's not working. Okay, well, we're doing it the old-fashioned way then. Sorry, Twitch. There we go. Did I get it right this time? Hold on, I gotta check. Let me make sure. Yeah, I did that time. Yeah, it's such a good system, we have to use our old bots instead. Okay, I don't know if I'm getting it right, but go follow Cole. They're very cool. And they played an incredible round of golf. So they get the Champion Award. No jokes, no puns. They beat me. They are the true winner of the Beat Bloom competition. And I'm very happy that I got beaten. I almost don't want to... I want to win, but I don't want... Do you know what I mean? I'm happy that somebody beat me. But let us keep going. Ooh, next we have to Dr. Mustache. They are awarded the So Close Award for Outstanding Achievement in Golf. Dr. Mustache scored a -6. They came extremely close. Oh, I should set that up, Hazmat. They came extremely close. Yeah, exactly. I want to win, but I don't want to have it be a blowout. But it wasn't, because Dr. Mustache here got a -6 on stream. They came extremely close to beating my score. So they get the So Close Award. Just one more hole and they would have tied. It was a very impressive run. Let me see. And also, American Pineapple at the -4 was very, very close as well. Anybody who played this knows how unforgiving this game is. You really have no margin for error as you go along. Let us keep going. So, Gondola. Gondola took the high score challenge very literally, golfing an incredible +165, which is genuinely incredible to me. Let me see. Let me find it. Because Gondola had tweeted... let me see. Yep, Gondola got a +165 and tweeted at me, imagine being so bad at golf you get a negative. So Gondola gets the High Score Award. Well deserved, too. Because +165 is a genuine achievement. I don't know how you do that. That would be quite something. Let's see. So, to Hanabi, you have been awarded the if this was real life, that would be an excellent score award for a very nice +4. Because genuinely, if I golfed a +4 in real life, I would have been freaking out. I would be so happy because that would be the best score I ever got in my life. So, do not despair. You win the if that was real life, that would be an excellent score award. Do not despair. Also, a +4 is really quite good. Let me see. I wrote down my scores that I got while I was streaming. And while I was streaming, I was pretty wildly inconsistent. Let's see. I got a +1, a +8, a +17, a +2, a +18, a +6, a -7, a +4, a +16, 2 +0s, ±0, and 1 +4. So, Hanabi, that's right around where my average score was on that stream. So, you were really not that far off. It was just a sheer number of attempts difference, I think. So, the best score anybody got, Tachikuro, was Cole. Yes, less is better. This is golf. Lower scores are better. The best score anybody got was a -14, which was not me. Let's see. Now to Hazmat. Hazmat wins the Who Let a Slime Monster on the Golf Course award. I don't think you passed dress code. I think the grounds crew did not do their job and a pile of sludge somehow came out of the sewer pipe and got onto the golf course. I hope you enjoy your award, Hazmat. It was well earned. Let's see. I tried to come up with, funny things for as many people as I could. Because, that's the whole point. Can a slime enjoy golf? How do you even hold the club? Can you hold the club without dissolving it? I don't understand the logistics of this. And let's see. To Leaden Jin for outstanding, the Under Par Excellence Award. Let me double check. Leaden Jin put in a quite good score, a -2. A very respectable score. Just because it's speed golf doesn't mean it's not golf. Fair. Actually, did anybody play the new Mario Golf that came out on the Switch, I think last summer? Had a speed golf mode, and it was a ton of fun. Maybe I'm just weird and enjoy golf video games too much. But that one was a lot of fun. I just really like golf games. I can't, I feel almost embarrassed admitting that, but it's like, they're fun. They're usually relaxing, but then you get really intense with it. Yes, but Leaden Jin putting in a -2. One of only a few runs overall to be under par, so you are in an elite group there. Let's see. The Hurry Up and Golf Award is awarded to Leonidas Umbra, who, as I was watching them stream their attempt, it was getting extremely close to the deadline. I think they finished within 2 minutes of the cutoff for the contest. They took so long that I started playing the game. I started a playthrough of golf when they were on hole 6 or 7, and I finished 2 full rounds before they finished theirs. So, Leon gets the Hurry Up and Golf. Yeah, the Rate of Play Award. Also, Cole, congratulations. You get the, let me scroll back here. You get the Champion Award. Oh, no, I went past it. For an astonishing -14. You are the ultimate winner of this contest. Congratulations. You weren't just gaming, you were transcendent. Absolutely magnificent. 100% gaming. It's super fun. It's got a purity of play. It's really addictive. Let's see. We got to the Hurry Up and Golf Award for Leonidas. Let's see. Okay. The Tasteful Golf Clap Award goes to Kix Quinty for a +2. Very tasteful score. Another score where, again, if I golfed a +2 across 18 holes in real life, I would be freaking out. That would be the best I would ever golf in my life. Golf is hard. Golf is really, really hard. So I think a tasteful golf clap is in order. Let's see. Snorlax Bud has been awarded the Lucky Sevens Award for ending with a score of 77. Nothing bad can come of a score like that. Plus, I believe they only used the one wood and the putter throughout the entire round. So Snorlax Bud, you have rolled Lucky Sevens. Congratulations. Cannot go wrong with that. Let's see, who is next? One Iron and Putter, Gorilla Mindset. Hey, it worked. The Heroic Effort Award goes to Tower Shield for improving his score dramatically between the two runs he posted. I think more than cutting it in half. So a heroic effort for Tower Shield. Who knows how difficult this game is? I think he said, I've never been very good at this game in real life or otherwise. I miss playing this on the original Game Boy. And there was something kind of awesome about NES games getting like direct ports to Game Boy back in the day, because it's like, hell yeah. I can play the game at home or on the go. This rules. And now fast forward, 30 years later and the Switch is a thing. Let's see. And our final award for outstanding achievement in golf goes to Ringleader Woozle, who receives the Bunker Boy Award, who complained very, very loudly that he was robbed by the game. He even said that he would take a bunker. Yes, we do have video evidence of this. Give me one moment. I will get that video ready for everybody. I just need to set it up. Hello, Neosoft. He will tell you that he's been robbed. Whether that's true or not. He'd be so mad if I set that command up. I want to do it. Let me find the video here. Yeah, not Bunker Andy. He's just the Bunker Boy. He's just a funny little bunker guy, Let me get this set here. Hold on. So I am not BRB. I am just arranging the screen here so that we can all enjoy the Woozle struggle here. Which really, that's his natural state of being, isn't it? Just struggling. Just having a hard time. Be nice to him. He's doing his best. Okay, here we go. So, let us enjoy Woozle's bunker moment.
Full power and slice it. Full power and slice. Let's go. Full power and slice.
Video editing, courtesy of Based Bug.
Okay. Okay, the wind's against us and it's going hard. That's about a 200-yard shot. I want to go a little bit over 200 yards. We want to go, Do we want to go the one iron? Do we want to go the one iron here? Do we want to do the 4 wood?
He's doing the math.
Shoot, and I will accept a bunker. I will accept a bunker right now. I will even accept a water hazard.
Keep those words in mind. I will accept a bunker. Let's see.
To go the one iron here. Do you want to do the 4 wood?
Will he accept the bunker?
And I will accept a bunker. I will accept a bunker right now. I will even accept a water hazard. I do not want to get out of bounds because that completely fucks me over. You know what? Maybe a 3 iron. Maybe a 3 iron. Let's go 3 iron. Let's go 3 iron. What? Huh? What? What was that? What the? I hit the ball. It goes a fucking inch. Robbed. I've been robbed. What? Full power and slice it.
So that is why Woozle has received the coveted Bunker Boy Award. Yeah, can we get some Woozlols in the chat here? Oh yeah, the fact that he's in Toilet Boy just really sells it for me. He's just a little piss guy. Just a little toilet boy. God, what an award. He gets the prestigious, the coveted Bunker Boy Award. And I believe that wraps it up for the awards. Yes, we are back to the start. So thank you everybody so much for participating in this first ever Beat Bloom challenge. I would like to do more of these in the future, maybe on a monthly basis, with different games each time. So it's not just going to be NES Golf, don't worry. My idea would be to take games that are things like score attack games, games where you can register a high score, or maybe a very easy game, and we could speedrun it together, something like that, just something to take games that might not otherwise be ones you would play and give you a reason to play them. Any chance of Outrun? Ooh, that's not a bad idea, Snorlax Bud. Some that I've been thinking about. One that I would like, that I don't think anybody else would enjoy, is a very weird NES game called Puss in Boots: Pero's Great Adventure, which, if you don't know, stars the mascot of Toei Animations. And hold on, let me grab the cartridge. Give me one sec. It's not an early NES game at all. It came out in like 91, and despite starring the mascot of a Japanese company, this game was a North America exclusive made by Electrobrain Company, who made lots of very weird games. Not necessarily good, but weird. And this game takes barely 20 minutes to beat, even on the first time you play it. So it's not that's not how it's supposed to look like. Let's see how I do with it all glitched out, actually. I'm curious. It's an almost charmingly poorly made game. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, sure is interesting, right, Lou? I think a playthrough of this game and a, speed challenge, or maybe score, could be a lot of fun. It's not a good game, but listen to how bad this music is. Look at how ugly this is. Look at how weird the physics are. When you jump, you can move forward faster than if you weren't jumping. You have multiple weapons you can use. Nothing in the game makes any sense at all, but it's an extremely short playthrough. I'm not kidding. The first time I ever played it was on stream, and I think I beat the game in 20 minutes. Without having played it before. So this is one candidate I have in mind. We could either do it by score. Literally, it's like bunny hopping. That's the only way to go, fast. I think the speedrun time for this game is genuinely 5 minutes. This would not be a large time investment kind of game. That was the whole first level. And now you get in a boat. And that's it. The whole game is this, right up there with Super Mario Bros. But, I can't bring myself to dislike this game because it's so poorly made. It's the crudest, this is barely an NES game. And I find it really charming for some reason, and I can't explain why. There's no rational reason why. Yeah, it's a fun kind of jank. Just look at him smiling. Plus, I remember, this character, Pero, showed up in episodes of Captain N, the Game Master, which I don't know if anybody else remembers that cartoon. But, this little guy, for whatever reason, they decided to give him the advertising push of being in that game. The game is also almost shockingly primitive for 1991. Keep in mind, by the time this game came out, Super Mario Bros. 3 had come out a year ago. That's how much games... This was 1991, Hanabi. Super Mario 3 came out a year before this. That gives you an idea of just how... how far behind this game was. And it's part of why, I can't hate it. It's so just... It feels like it shouldn't exist. Also, the fact that it's starring a Japanese, animation studio's mascot, but never came out in Japan. Like, nothing about this game makes sense to me. And it's kind of wonderful in a weird way. Like, I have no reason to like it as much as I do. You can also change weapons, but you have to pause to do it. So you have a gun, a boomerang, and a bomb. And for this boss, you just want to boomerang into his mouth like crazy. I mean, at least that's kind of a big boss sprite. You know, I almost have a nice thing to say about it, and then he just... he's just dead like that. Now you get into a car, and the car has the same weird, messed up jump physics. The car has jump physics, for one. Which, just think about. Yeah, it needed the whole background layer to itself. There's a 1-up, just cuz. Game just felt like giving you a 1-up, because why not? Like, yeah. I mean, the Master System had some great-looking games, Hanabi, but... the sound on this game is more Master System than anything. Yeah, right? We could have had jumping cars, we could have had flying cars. Why isn't the future as fun as people in the past thought it would be? Oh, now we get an airplane level. This one scrolls a little fast. This one almost has something impressive going on. Like, that's almost competent. Also, the first time I played it, I thought you could collide with the mountains, but you can't. They're just background. So you just keep hitting the fire button and try not to get hit by lightning, and that's it. The final boss of this game is kind of tricky, if I'm remembering right. Just in that, like, they shoot so fast. Oh yeah, no, flying cars, any kind of, like, iteration on car that isn't just being more efficient, or preferably not being a car, would be better than, the fun things people thought of in the past. But the fun things are fun. I'm going with the... Oh yeah, there's also a UFO for some reason. I'm going with the Yui from K-On! Philosophy of fun things are fun. And that maybe I want the fun thing sometimes. Yeah, they're based on, dude, this is sick. Also, I can understand why, people in like 1920 might have thought that was going to be the future. Because, 1895 or 1885, the automobile as we know it is invented. By, 1900, we've got cars starting to enter kind of mass production. 1903, the first airplane flies. By 1910, you've got the first commercial flight services, delivering mail. And, the Model T Ford starting to go into production. So you can understand why people would be like, yeah, how long will it be before we have personal flying cars? Oh no, they're desperately impractical. Also, now we're just going to London and shooting up Beefeater guards, I guess. Well, I guess they're bad guys in disguise. I don't know. I don't know the deep Pero lore here. It's just, this game's almost like impossibly primitive by NES standards. Pero hates the monarchy? Hell yeah, let's go. Then we've got a weird level inside somewhere with conveyor belts and things that grow from the ceiling for no clear reason. Where was Pero on September 8th? Yeah, this game's got a lot of character and charm. I can't pretend it's good, but I kind of want to do either a high score contest, since the game does have a scoring system, or a speed contest for this game. I don't know that people would want to participate in that one, whereas like NES Golf is still pretty fun. This, I think, only appeals to connoisseurs of true 8-bit jank and weird games. I don't know that this one has the mass appeal of golf. I think it's delightful, but I can understand Oh, was he a glider innovator, Glail? I feel like I've heard that name. Or was he just one of the first Brazilian aviators? Because I know there were a lot of people experimenting with planes and gliders at the same time the Wright brothers were. It's just kind of the whole world was starting to figure out this whole powered flight thing at the same time, and they just happened to get there first. Some tricky platforming, mostly because it's weird feeling. There we go. Oh, now we've gotten even strange. I don't even know what this is supposed to be. Like, what this stage is meant to depict. Interesting. So he went for an extremely lightweight approach. If anybody knows what any of this is meant to depict, please tell me. Like, are we inside the Tower of London or something? It's all very strange looking here. There we go. And now we're fighting some kind of... Which I don't remember what weapon was best for this. Oh, probably the boomerang when I'm right at the top. Oh, I thought I figured it out. I don't remember the best way to beat bosses in this game. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, aviation was a collective effort. So this game's one option for our our next Beat Bloom contest. That could be fun. I'm not going to keep playing that. Trying to think what other games would be suitable. Ooh, hold on. I have something fun to show you. Give me one. Did just see on the shelf Casino Kid for NES, which is a gambling simulator with a story mode. This, however, is an NES game that... Let me check the year it came out. Give me 1 second. This came out in 2018. And I think if I made this the game for the next contest, nobody would really want to play it. You'll see why in a second. If it works, hold on. Yeah, seeing airplanes being used for war must have been absolutely terrible to all those early emulators. Ooh, what game, Hanabi? Here we go. Oh, I love Knights. I have the 3D controller, Hanabi. So, this is Golf. This was part of the Switch game Golf Story. Limited Run Games, when they put out a physical version of Golf Story, also put out a physical NES cartridge of Golf, the game within a game. And, it'll look very familiar. How about a round of golf? The game also comes with an absolutely hilarious manual that I unfortunately don't have a scan of on hand to show you. But this should look pretty familiar, yeah? Oh, well that's not right. That's my cartridge having issues. Maybe that's my handicap to play the game all messed up looking. But this is basically a, hold on. A kind of parody version of NES Golf. That it's much easier than NES Golf, I've got to say. But there's a whole deep lore within the game. Some good golf, I tell you what. Right, Yowie Hands? So let's see. Oh, that was out of bounds. And when you get out of bounds in this one, it's like a flightless bird or a pervert gator or something is what interrupted your shot. We got the bunker. You can change clubs, but it's so you can see there's quite a bit more animation than in something like NES Golf. It's I wouldn't even say it's as fun as NES Golf, but it's an interesting diversion. Oh no, a naked crab. And all the messages like that are, very funny. Oh dear. The wind didn't do what I needed it to. It does. It's a comedy game, essentially. It wasn't meant to be a serious golf simulation the way NES Golf was. And there are only 9 holes. Actually, the version that actually came out... I'm going to reset. The version that was in the Switch game, Golf Story, only has 8 holes. The 9th hole is a physical cartridge exclusive, which is very silly. Me too, Glail. I played one not too long ago. Micro Mages on NES. Remarkably fun. Now, when this came out, I like that it's Bird instead of Birdie. I did, in fact, go through and get under par on this across 9 holes, which was not easy, I have to say. Yeah, a lot of people still make Dreamcast games. It's a very open platform. So it makes sense why it still gets so many titles. Oh, sloppy. Putting in this is more forgiving than NES Golf. You'll be happy to know. Let's see, we need to go 298. Oh, that was miserable. That was the worst. I can't gauge this worth a damn. +2, I'll take it. So I'm not going to make this the challenge game. Obviously, I don't think anybody but me would enjoy that, really. That's kind of fun as a novelty. Something to look at and be like, look at this silly joke NES game somebody made. That was terrible. Yeah, the last licensed game I think was 2007. And yeah, most recent one is probably like this week. It's interesting seeing what old consoles still get new games. Well, I'm going to put Golf away. Hold on. And then I think I'm just going to call it an early night. That Monster Party went a lot quicker than I expected, actually. But what was I thinking? Oh, yeah. So the NES still gets a lot of games, which kind of makes sense because, it's not a very complicated platform to make games for. Might be hard to make really good games. But, if you just want to get your game out there, it's not the worst to develop for. Sega Genesis still gets quite a lot of games because the X68000 processor that it runs on as its, chief CPU, very well documented, still in use in some stuff. The Super Nintendo gets very few new games because that's not terribly well documented as a platform. Let me put the TV away. Hold on. Yeah, it's not the best documented platform compared to some of the others that, get lots of games like the Neo Geo. The Neo Geo came out in 1989 and was still receiving official games all the way through 2004 or 2005, like shockingly late. Still gets tons of homebrew. The Dreamcast gets games all the time. Very open platform. I'm really wondering, the N64 has gotten a couple. Most of the ones the N64 has gotten are ROM hacks that people make sure can play on real hardware. So you don't, Glail. They are unlicensed. I think technically Nintendo or Sega could say, no, you can't do that. But, I mean, Metal Slug 3, Hanabi, launched simultaneously on the Neo Geo and the original Xbox. Like, that's a weird thought. That's a weird thing to hold in your head. But it did. I mean, that's a spectacular game, no matter how you play it. Technically, I think platform holders could say something about it, Glail, but why would they? That game's incredible. I have it on Xbox. God, I would love a Neo Geo setup. I would probably go for like an MVS, either an MVS cab or an MVS consolizer, because AES games are just stupid expensive. I passed up buying a Neo Geo CD once, and I kind of regret it, but it wasn't the CD-Z, so it was the one with the 1x speed CD-ROM drive. And I'm like, I can't be doing with that. That's so slow. Like, that's unbearably slow. Let's see, though. Let us find somebody to raid. I already let you know what I've got going on for the rest of the week, class. Wednesday, it's more Doom, as is our way. We typically do play Doom on Wednesdays. Friday, I will be doing some Castlevania 1 runs, trying to do the best I can in Dot's Classicvania challenge. And then Saturday, I will be racing with Latanya in Fazanadu. Yeah, we Doomsday. The Fazanadu race I am looking forward to. We both like this game a lot, but neither of us have played it in years, so it's probably going to be a mess. And I'm not going to have any time to try to practice or brush up or learn any of that. So it should all be a lot of fun. That'll be at 1 p.m. on Saturday. And I hope anybody who's played the game recognizes this opening shot that we have labored to recreate faithfully. It's a great game. If you've never played it, it's very, very fun. So, let's see who is online that we can go retro raid into. Go with whatever emotes you like. I'm gonna go with my good old Wigglies. And let's see who is online. We've got Mint is playing Resident Evil Code Veronica. It's been really fun watching her go through all of those. Nyaru's playing TF2. I think she just upgraded her computer, so I'm wondering if those look better. Ooh, Cici Hime is playing Racketeer, which is one of my favorite games. Racketeer, if you don't know, is a capitalism dungeon crawl simulator. That game is super fun. You know what? I love that game. Let me see. Let me make sure she's not just about to end. Because if she's still going for a while... Yeah, no sequel ever. I love that game, though. It's so much fun. So let me see. If she's still going for a while, then I think I would like to go raid Cici. I'm just going to check and make sure she's not just about to end. I've had that happen too many times where I didn't check and then I raided somebody right as they were ending. It was embarrassing. That's my fault. Let's see... Oh, and then after stream, look to Twitter. I will have all of the awards going out. Okay, it doesn't look like she's just about to end. So, we're going to go retro raid into Cici. If you don't follow her already, you should. And I will see you all Wednesday night for Doom. Going down, I will hopefully be finishing. We've got 12 maps left, and they get crazy, creative, and difficult. So, I will see you all then. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Accurate name, to be honest. Yeah, I just tried to. I tried to sell this. her the